Hello there everyone, and welcome to the second installment of videos that are not really like anything else that I've made, but here we are. If you saw last week's video, that is about the games that I gave up on in 2023 and before, but shush. This week we are on the opposite end of the spectrum, and these are actually games that I played and finished in 2023. That's also not totally true. It makes for a much better title, but in all actuality, I, like last week's video, wanted this to be sort of a catch-all. I wanted to give some light to games I played previously, since these are my first videos like this, so it's not entirely true, but going forward, it will be, okay? I'm keeping track of actual yearly games. These ones, I just wanted to be a little bit longer, have a little more oomph. And I am sorry, I'm lying again, in a sense, because I didn't technically finish every game on this list, because there are some on here that don't really have endings. For example, not to spoil, but Animal Crossing. That game goes on forever and ever and ever. There's not really an ending. So while the games on here that aren't like that, yes, I did actually finish. It's not a lie. The ones that you can't technically really finish, I'm just putting on this list because I still played them this year. These are not in any particular order, so I'm not listing my favorite to my least favorite or vice versa. I have these in a totally random order. Anyways, let's get on to the list. Number 1, Dragon Age Inquisition. It might be a little biased to start off with this game because it is one of my favorites of all time. I have played this game through, I do not even know how many times, and I actually also have a tattoo from this game. Insert picture here, editing Magnus, please don't skip over this, please. It's of the staff called the Tempest. If you've played the game, you probably know there's a whole quest to get it. So yeah, that's how much I love this game. It's literally just perfect to me. I don't know what else to say. There's elves. There's magic. You customize your own character. There's gay people. What more is there to a game? I also just recently modded my PC version because I own it on PC and a physical copy for the PS4. So I can make my characters prettier and do whatever I want, which is a big plus. So 10 out of 10 is my rating. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about this game. I could play it forever and never ever get bored. Number 2, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, I haven't technically played fully through any other Legend of Zelda games except for this. This is my true first actual Zelda game, and I certainly was not disappointed. This game, it rules, dude. This game rules. It is so fantastic. It's gorgeous. It is always fun to play. Link has the sexiest little outfits. I have absolutely no complaints except for one thing, which is those dumb, stupid platform shrines. You know what I'm talking about. The one where you take your Switch and you have to rotate it all around and it makes you look insane. Yeah, those can go away. Those can die for sure. But otherwise, it's a 10 out of 10. Everyone loves this game, including me. I'm on my second full playthrough of it. I love it. Number 3, Anne. This one I have a playthrough up on my channel. It's the one with the lowest rating on this list. I do not like this game. If you watch my playthrough of it, you'll understand why. You'll get it. And it sucks because this has such a sick concept. I am such a sucker for any kind of horror RPG maker games. I love the story, I love the aesthetic, but it's the gameplay that knocks it down for me. It is so impossible to play, and I found myself only having fun maybe 30% of the time, and the rest of the time was just stuck in suffering. And I never want to touch the game again, which again sucks because I love really everything else about it, but if the gameplay makes you want to pull out all your hair, I don't know what to do there. It's a 3 out of 10 for me. Number 4, Life is Strange. I do also have a playthrough of this up on my channel, and this game just goes so hard. The first Life is Strange is, to me, absolutely fucking incredible. It has deep moments about relationships. It's cringe sometimes, but like in a fun way. Like, I don't think anybody can really play the game and say it's necessarily bad, even if they don't like the writing in it, because this game is just so well-rounded in really every way, and it's just so good. I have literally no complaints about the first Life is Strange game. It is so incredible. 10 out of 10. Number 5, Life is Strange Before the Storm. I might have a opinion that not a lot of people share, but I really, really like Life is Strange Before the Storm. I think it's a really good prequel to the first Life is Strange game. It really keeps the overall tone of the first game, and I think it just really does us well to delve into the relationship of Chloe and Rachel. I just loved it a lot. I think it makes the game hit that much harder to play it after the first game and really see why Chloe was so torn up in Life is Strange. And I also don't care what people say about Rachel. I have seen so many things saying that Rachel sucks as a character, and that's the point. You know what I mean? I think I like her so much because she's just a realistic, sort of entitled teenage girl. Like, she's a little spoiled and a little bit, like I said, entitled sometimes. And I think she's so true to that. And I think Chloe just really just gets charmed by her. And it's so realistic to me. So I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's very good. All right. Number 6, Life is Strange 2. This one, I really want to like more than I do, but the more I think about it, the less I enjoy it. It is not nearly as good as the first game. Not even close at all. Daniel as a character makes the game borderline painful to play. Really and honestly, the only reason I rate it as high as I do, which I think you won't even think is very high, is because I like Sean. I think Sean is a fantastic big brother, and I'm glad that we play the game as him and not Daniel, because if we had to play the game as Daniel, I don't know if I could have finished it. I'm really sorry to Life is Strange 2. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Again, I'm sorry. Number 7, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Now, for those of you that might not be familiar, this is essentially a in-between single episode that takes place, I think, right before episode 2 of Life is Strange 2. So it is directly connected to Life is Strange universe, but it's just one episode. And I thought it was fun. I mean, it was a short, fun little experience. I think it's really cool how it ties into the mainline Life is Strange lore, but I think it does ultimately lack the soul that the original has. So does Life is Strange 2, but I already talked about it. But I think it's just sort of meh comparatively. And I hate to compare it, but it is part of a series. So I do kind of compare it a little bit, and it's fine. It's not bad. It's fine. 6 out of 10. Number 8, Life is Strange True Colors. Again, not as good as the first, if you're seeing a trend here. I don't think any of them measure up to the first one, but I digress. I really do enjoy the characters in this one. I think just the sheer charm of the LARP episode alone is enough to just, like, make me happy about it. That whole episode was just so fun and cute. I think it really does have plenty of heart. I think it just lacks the gravity of the first game. It just doesn't feel as strong plot-wise. It's definitely good. I think it's way better than the second one, but I don't know, man. The first one just has not been beaten yet. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. Number 9, Ballads at Midnight. I do have a full spoiler-free review up on my channel for this game if anyone is interested in that. but I do like it quite a bit. There's bisexual vampire falls in love with a bisexual bard girl, and they can either be happy and wholesome or they can be, like, kind of murderous. I mean, it's good. I like that a lot. I will say that the original songs that were in there were not that great. The words were not in time with the instrumental, and it just was a little odd. It threw me off a little bit in the immersion, for sure. But it's definitely a pretty story. I like that there are multiple endings. I think it's really, really fun for what it is. So overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Number 10, Graveyard Girls. Let's go lesbians. I mean, for what it is, I like this game a lot. Very cute lesbians, just sharing trauma. And I also think that purple hair girl can fix the depressed brunette. Stunning story, but it was a little slow at times though, so take that for what it's worth, but I also give this one a 7 out of 10. Number 11, Hatoful Boyfriend. This game is so ridiculously good and fun, and it should not be allowed. It is, to me, just so flawless. Pigeon dating sim hiding like an actual psychological horror game with murder and species war. Like, genuinely and unironically such an underrated game. I think it's so incredible. I have like a full playthrough up on my channel. It is just so good. If you haven't actually played this game, please play it because it is so worth it. I'm so glad I played it. And I do definitely have to replay it sometime in the future. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Number 12, The King of Cats. Again, playthrough up on my channel. I haven't said that for all of them, but I bet you're still annoyed at me. It's fine. This one gives off Jaws vibes, but with tigers instead of sharks. It's not really anything, like, groundbreaking, but it is a fun, quick play with lots of ending options for who survives and who doesn't, so, I mean, it's not bad. It's not anything that really knocked my socks off, but it's still pretty good, so 6 out of 10. Number 13, A Normal Lost Phone. I do really like this game the more that I think about it. It's just a very fun, simple game that I think is done in a very beautiful way. I absolutely love the LGBTQ story that unfolds, and it feels really genuine, and it makes you really love the phone's owner by the end, and really all just by the contents of their phone. I think it's very well done, and it's also a very visually pleasing game. It's just very pretty, and I really do love the style that it's done in. So if you're looking for something kind of cheap and quick, because the game isn't very expensive, because it's a simpler game, and it's not super long, but I think it's very, very worth it. I really do like it. So I give it an 8 out of 10. It's charming. Number 14, Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, we're switching gears here. It's GTA, man. Like, what is there to say? I get to wear pink cowboy boots, and I drive a giant pink pickup truck, and I get to run people over. I mean, you can do pretty much whatever you want, and playing it with a friend or something and just like running around and trying to outrun the cops after doing crime, that in and of itself is just always fun, really. The missions, however, are sort of a hit or miss. I went through a phase where all I wanted to do was play GTA 5, and so I just accrued so much money from doing so many missions on my own. And some of them are really fun, and some of them are borderline impossible unless you do very specific things or buy very specific items, and that pisses me off. So I give it a 7 out of 10, but what can I say? It's GTA 5. Number 15, Spore. This is mostly me probably blinded by nostalgia. I played this game all the time as a kid, and I still love this game. It is a favorite of my childhood for sure. If you've never played it, think Sims, but with, like, made-up creatures. And it's also better than The Sims. Not to be controversial, but hey man, that's just me. Although, I will say that the thing that really does kick it down is the space portion of the game. I think that part of the game is ass, dude. I think it sucks. It is not even close to as fun as the rest of the game before it. It's like when you get smart enough as a species, you just get to go up into space and do, like, way too much stuff. Like, no, I want to be a little feral creature and run around. I don't need intelligence. I just want to do basic creature things. I don't care about space travel, all right? So that's why it gets a 7 out of 10. Number 16, Doki Doki Literature Club. I think I'm gonna say something a little crazy, but this might be in my, like, top 5 games of all time. I cannot stress to you how much I adore Doki Doki Literature Club. The first moment I ever played it, I was a changed person. I will tell you that. I just think this game is perfect. I really do. It leads you in so slowly, letting you settle into false comfort with anime girls that you try and date, all for it to be turned completely inside out. And I just can't stress how much I love it. I truly would not change a thing about this game. I've watched countless deep dive videos and things like that on it, and it just makes me appreciate it more. I have yet to buy Doki Doki Literature Plus, but I do plan on doing that because I actually want to play it on my channel eventually, and I want to do that version. So, if you don't have Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, please just download the free version and play it. Like, I'm begging you. This game is so worth it. I rated it a 10 out of 10. I could play this a billion times and still love it. Number 17, Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. Fun story, when this game very first dropped, pretty much immediately, I bought it so fast, and then I spent an entire night getting every single route. I do not know how late I was up. I think I pulled an all-nighter. I became so engrossed in this goddamn dad game, and it was so fun. I love shit like this. First of all, it's dating gay dads. Come on. What else do you really need? You make your character, you pick a hot dad, try to be a good dad to your daughter, unless you're a monster, and you either live happily ever after as gay dads, or you don't, if you fail too many minigames. And there's, if you don't know, there's literally a way that you can die. In one of the routes, you can literally kill your character. It is so funny. There are some cringy jokes, but I do not care. I don't care. 10 out of 10, I don't care. Number 18, Baldur's Gate 3. Let's get this one out of the way, alright? This game's a 10 out of 10. I don't need to wait to give you the rating. If you don't think it's a 10 out of 10, you're actually insane. You're actually crazy. This won Game of the Year for a reason, alright? This game is so ridiculously good. It is actually insane. The characters, the story, the sheer mind-blowing amount of content, it's so crazy. It really is. I think everyone in the whole world should play this game. And if you ever want to play together, hit me up, because it is so good. And everyone knows that, but I just wanted to chime in and also say that it's good. Number 19, Disney Princess Enchanted Journey. This is another one probably blinded by nostalgia, but hear me out. Even though it is a childhood favorite, it is actually very fun. You run around with a magic wand and you kill little dudes that look like goblins, and then they explode into butterflies. You get to restore a castle, you get to meet Disney princesses, and the entire, like, Snow White version, like, portion of the game, which is, like, supposed to be the hardest, it is a kid's game, so, like, it's not hard, but, you know, is so genuinely fun. Like, actually fun. I think this game is great. 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is because I wish it were longer, but I know it's a kid's game, so they have to be short. I don't care. It's really good. Number 20, Dramatical Murder. Alright. I know what you're gonna say. Don't make fun of me. Don't you dare say anything to me about Dramatical Murder. Alright? I played this when I was like 16 for the first time, and it became probably my entire personality. It is actually very good. Okay, hey, stay with me here, alright? If you're not familiar with this game, look it up at your own risk, alright? There's, to say it mildly, beyond NSFW elements, like very much so, but Beyond that, it's really good. I think the world building in this is so sick, and I think all of the characters are so unique and cool, and going through all the routes, even the bad endings, like the bad endings more or less are there to just like blow my mind in like a shocking way. Like I get to those bad endings and I'm like, what the fuck? It like they're insane, but creatively insane. Are there like some problematic like gay yaoi elements in it? Oh my god, of course. But I still really like this game. I think there's just so much content and the story that's there is really cool. And I don't know what else to tell you, man. You either love it or you hate it. I give it a 10 out of 10, which I know might be actually insane, but it also has Kojaku. I am a Kojaku stan, and I will forever support Kojaku. So, 10 out of 10 Kojakus. Number 21, Putt Putt Saves the Zoo. Again, another childhood favorite, but this is a objectively good game. This is a good game, and I will say that until I'm dead. It is fun. I absolutely love playing a silly little car that helps save zoo animals. And you can change his color, which is fun. And you have a little dog sidekick. And it is just such a charming art style as well. All of the games within that like company franchise are so fun to watch and look at because they're so pretty and stylized. I love those games, and Putt Putt Saves the Zoo just goes hard. And I do plan to play it on my channel, so don't ask. Trust me, it's on the list, alright? I promise. 10 out of 10 Putt Putts. Number 22, Animal Crossing New Horizons. This game, like for many others, was what consumed my life in the year of 2020. I had just gotten a Switch Lite at that point, the yellow one, if anyone wants to know. And I was playing this, and only this, pretty much day after day if I was not working. It was, for that time, like the best game ever. But after that, it really lost its steam, dude. There's just not enough content, really. It's too slow, even with the time traveling that you can do. And it's just too much work for the same thing over and over again. It's nice to pick up again every now and then. It's cute. Don't get me wrong. Once you've done all the seasons and all the events, it's just the same thing, and there's really nothing that keeps you coming back at that point. And also, when I got an OLED Switch, I didn't know that I had to do special things to transfer my island, so I had to completely and utterly start over from scratch, and I think that also just, like, wiped any motivation I had. So, take that for what it is, but, I rated a 7 out of 10. Number 23. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. This is going to be another controversial take, I'm sure, but I love this game. I think it really stays true to the tone of a lot of, like, the classic, like, Pokemon anime, honestly, and that is also granted because of the, like, original 151 Pokemon that it has, and it has Team Rocket and stuff, which is, I grew up watching the anime, okay? I love the Pokemon anime. So I love that I get to see all of the classic Pokemon, and you can have one follow you around. You can have your little Eevee and or Pikachu sit up on your head. You can get it little clothes. It's not a complicated Pokemon game by any means. I think it is very fun, and I like the mechanics in it. Alright, I like this one a lot. I give it a 9 out of 10. It's actually probably one of my favorite Pokemon games I've played in recent times. So, get off my back. Number 24, Unpacking. I know everybody loves this game, alright? I do too. I think it's very fun. I love the story. It's really cool to just put away all these items and see a little story unfold. But I will knock it down specifically for the price. I think that you truly do not get enough game content for how much they charge for it. Please, if you're thinking of getting this, only buy it when it goes on sale, because it is just not nearly enough game time to warrant the price tag. So for that reason, it does get an 8 out of 10, especially because to me, there's not a ton of replay value. Like, you can put stuff in some other places, I guess, but at the same time, like, maybe it's just a me thing, but once I've done it, I've done it, and I don't think I'm going to revisit it anytime soon. Maybe I will in a year or two, but we'll see. Number 25, Calico. I want this game to be a 10 so bad, dude. But the development was not fleshed out nearly enough. I loved playing this whole game. Twice, actually. I played through the whole thing twice. But there was a bug that was there for me. I did play it on my Switch, so I don't know if it was just on the Switch. I know other people were experiencing it there, so I don't know if it was a PC goer's experience as well, but there was a bug there for months where I could not progress the story at all. There were quests where it said to do a certain thing, and then it gives you the other quests, and the certain thing was completely bugged out, and I just couldn't progress the game at all. And I don't even think I was like halfway done with it at that point. So I was like, am I missing something? What's going on? So I do just wish development was better, because I know a lot of people complained about the development issues with it. In the last state that I played it in, it was fixed, so the bug was no longer there, and it was really fun. I really, really did enjoy playing this game. I love the silly physics in it. I think the style is adorable. Everything is great, but just the development of it, I think, just needed polishing. So for that reason, I do give it an 8 out of 10. Number 26, Cat Cafe Manager. I absolutely love this game, dude. I did not think I was going to like it as much as I did when I played it. I was looking for more of a cozy game, which for me is very hard to find one that I like, because I like games with an end. I don't really enjoy games, you know, like Animal Crossing and stuff, where there's no storyline and no end goal. I like replaying games and feeling fulfilled once I finish it. And this one, thankfully, I think strikes a perfect balance of having an ending, but having a lot of really good replay value. It is so adorable and cozy and fun. There's charming characters, adorable cats, an adorable art style. It's super easy to play. It's a fun, silly little storyline. I really don't have any complaints about this game. I think it was just like the perfect cozy game for me personally. So if you're kind of like me and you would love a little cozy game that isn't high stakes and isn't high storyline, but you still want there to be that fulfilling end, this is it. And you can replay it so many times. I give it a 10 out of 10. Number 27, Pokemon Shield. I liked this game for the story, mostly. I honestly just thought the story was fun. Alright. I know a lot of the newer Pokemon games are very divisive. A lot of people don't like them. But I am a simple man to please. I see Pokemon, I like Pokemon. Most of the time. I'm not that critical of it. This one was simple and cute. I love how you have more of a close relationship with the champion and work your way up to him. And Team Yell low-key slays, though. I actually really love Team Yell. I think they're really good and I love their designs. So I give this one an 8 out of 10. It wasn't anything crazy, but I really liked the elements that were there. I do think that a lot of the more recent Pokemon games are a little much, so that's why it's an 8 out of 10. I think there's just some elements that are a little much for me. Number 28, Pokemon Shining Pearl. Speaking of too much, this game overwhelmed me. I know that this is technically a remake of, you know, the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which I didn't grow up playing or anything, so I'm speaking strictly from this game alone. It just was a bit too much. I actually don't like it as much as Pokemon Shield or Let's Go Eevee, because I had a much harder time with it somehow. I just got really overwhelmed with all of the super random stuff you can do. And I did finish it, but it was not without some difficulty. And again, this might just be a me problem, but I am not here to play Pokemon for a hard time. I'm here for a good time, alright? I'm here to play some mindless, cute Pokemon. I don't need a challenge. I don't need anything like that. I just am here to have fun, alright? And this one was just a little much for me. So I give it a 7 out of 10. Number 29, Honkai Star Rail. I have been obsessed with this game from the day it came out. I literally pre-downloaded it as much as I could, and then I waited for the day it released, and the day it did, I was on that grind, dude. I love this game. I didn't think I was gonna like it once I saw that it was this, like, turn-based combat sort of thing. I don't care. This game is fun. I love the combat. The character designs are so beautiful. This is just a fantastic little kind of more casual game because I love doing my dailies. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It's got pretty men in it, which is all that I can ask for. I think this game is better than Genshin Impact to me personally, alright? Objectively, I'm not saying anything, but for me personally, if I had to pick up Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact right now, it would be Honkai Star Rail. I can't stress just how much I really like this game. 10 out of 10. Number 30, Genshin Impact. Speaking of Genshin Impact, here it is. I do love this game. I have been playing it for years now. But as of right now, in December of 2023, I have not played it in months. I think the introduction of Sumeru was really exciting and cool at first, but they introduced just way too much stuff. And ever since a little while after that, I have not been able to pick this game back up consistently at all. I have way, way, way too many quests. It overwhelms me. And the fact that it is one of those games that doesn't really have an end and it keeps getting updated with more and more makes me just feel even more overwhelmed. Because I'm like, why would I complete these quests when I'm gonna get 10 more when I'm done with it? It just feels like too much for me. And it's a little sad because there was a time when this was probably like my favorite game to play. Like I played it every single day for hours. It was like my favorite thing. I wouldn't shut up about this game. And now I don't shut up about Honkai Star Rail. So times have changed a bit, but I still do like it. I'm sure I'll pick it back up consistently again at some point. I just have to work up the courage because it's really hard to play a game where you have an undetermined amount of quests just sitting there. It's a lot. And for that reason, it is a 9 out of 10 and not a 10 out of 10. I just think there's too much. Number 31, Wizard 101. This game would be an easy 10 if the membership was not so ungodly expensive. I don't know how they can get away with charging like $80 a year for this game. $80 a year is actually insane. You pay, dude, I paid like what, $70, $60 for Baldur's Gate 3, and Wizard 101 you pay more and only have access to that membership for 1 year. That is a crime. That's so crazy. And that sucks because I've been playing this since I was a kid. This was my favorite game ever when I was a kid. I used to play it with my friend on the home phone on the landline. It was just so fun. I love being a little death wizard running around, casting little magic cards, decorating a haunted house that I bought with gold because I didn't have a membership. I had a free one for a while. And even as adult me, I really like it and I love playing it. But I can only play it when they have like free membership offers or like discounted membership offers because $80 a year should be illegal. That's insane. 8 out of 10 for $80 out of 100%. They shouldn't do that. Number 32, World of Warcraft. This is another one where I thought as a kid I was so cool for playing this game. And all I would do is make a cool character, play the amount of free levels, stop, put it down for months, make a new character, and do the thing all over again. And you know what? That's fun sometimes, alright? I really love making characters on that game. I think the designs are really cool, and the game is fun. But I will never, ever pay for this game in my life. I just never will. I just think there are so many better games to play than World of Warcraft, in all honesty. Maybe it's just the fact I'm not usually a big MMO person, but like, why play this when you can play Baldur's Gate 3? You know what I mean? But I do really like the fact that you can pick to be in the Alliance or the Horde. I think that's cool. The fact that you can be like the good guys or the bad guys. I like that a lot. Also, comment down below what your race is that you play this as. I always chose the Blood Elves, but Night Elves are a close second. But like, come on, Blood Elves, those guys are sick. So 6 out of 10 for this one. Number 33, the Oregon Trail, 5th edition. This is another childhood favorite, but I actually did play this on Twitch this year, so it does count for my actual games I played in 2023. And this, to me, is the best version of Oregon Trail. Granted, have I played a lot of other versions? No, but I like this one a lot. I love how things can escalate so quickly. It is just hilarious every time. I love that you can just name the characters whatever you want. It makes for some very funny things. But I will say, because of the time period that the game takes place in, and also the time period it was made in, there are some problematic elements. I won't go over them, but there are. I wish that wasn't a thing. This game overall gets an 8 out of 10 from me, but the problematic elements are not awesome. I'll say that. Number 34, Pokemon X. We're getting into the part of the list of games that I played well before 2023, but I just really wanted to highlight on this list. Pokemon X, to me, was the perfect Pokemon game, besides Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That is the best Pokemon game ever made, and I do not take criticism on that. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, I'm going on record here now saying, is my favorite Pokemon game of all time, and I own it still for the GameCube since I was like 8 years old, so jot that down. It's not on this list because I want to save it for a playthrough and stuff, but just know. But that's like the best game ever, alright? But I really like Pokemon X. I remember this game very, very fondly when I was playing it on my little 2DS when I was younger. And if you hate this game, I hate you. Alright? I see so many people shit-talking this game. I don't care. I absolutely loved this game. I loved the clothing options for your character. I loved the cities. I loved the legendaries. So, Pokemon X, 10 out of 10. I love Pokemon X. Number 35, Pokemon Moon. I'll be real with you. I barely remember this game. It is a very forgettable Pokemon game for me. There are some really cool elements, don't get me wrong. I do actually really love a lot of the new Pokemon that were introduced in this game. Usually, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little skeptical of the newer Pokemon generations, some of them at least, but that one I liked quite a lot. Poplio is like my favorite water-type Pokemon ever. That little bitch can do anything. He could commit tax fraud, and I would take his place in jail. I don't care. And I think all the NPC characters are really cool. I give this one an 8 out of 10. Reason it's not higher is because the story just didn't make enough of an impact on me that I remember a whole lot. Number 36, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Another one of those where I just don't remember a whole lot. It's just sort of a regular Pokemon game. I don't know. I love pretty much every Pokemon game that I play, but it wasn't anything special to me. I just kind of got it and I played it and I was like, yep, that was a Pokemon game. All right, next one. It didn't make a lasting impression on me. I don't know what else to tell you about it. It's a 7 out of 10. It wasn't top of the pick, but it's not bottom either. Number 37, Pokemon Stadium 2. When I was a kid, this was the one game that I could tell people I would smoke the competition. When I tell you as a kid, I was undefeated at the Pokemon minigames in this. Do not take that lightly. Nobody could beat me. Not a single person, dude. I did not meet a single friend in my life when I was a child that could beat me. I did recently get an N64, and I bought a copy of this because I wanted to play it again since I haven't played it since I was a kid. Now, unfortunately, the knockoff controllers I got from my N64 were a little broken, so I certainly was not at the top of my game, but the Chansey egg catching game, I still absolutely reign supreme at. So this game is a 10 out of 10 for me. And also, I think that the 3D animations in this game are actually so stunning. The battles in this are so fun to watch, and the announcer that talks makes me laugh. I just love his line delivery. I don't know. I really love Pokemon Stadium 2, and I am going to be playing it more in my spare time now that I own it again, after being a dumb kid who thought money was cooler than video games and sold my old games. Number 38, Stardew Valley. I sort of added this one on last minute. I was gonna read my whole script and everything the other day, but I sort of just had my memory jogged about Stardew Valley, and I sort of wanted to put it here as almost an honorary member of this list, because I don't really play Stardew Valley necessarily. That means to say that I don't own this game. This is not a game that, like pretty much almost every other one on this list, I either own now or I owned previously in my life. This is never one that I have owned or really plan on owning. The only reason it is on this list is because my boyfriend absolutely loves this game, and he always wants me to play it with him, and I have played it with him a few times. Now, it's gonna be rated pretty low. I'm gonna give that disclaimer. And it's not to say that Stardew Valley is a bad game. I don't think it is. I think it's a really good game. It's just not a me game. It's because I'm a guy who likes an end. I like a storyline with an end, and then I can just replay it whenever I want. Stardew Valley is just one of those games that never has an end. You just keep going and going, and I don't like that. So it's just not a me game. So I'm never gonna play it on my own. I'm never gonna buy it. It's honestly just also way too much information without there being a real end goal. There's just too many elements, too many things to know that I just don't, and I don't want to learn because there's no tutorials or anything. You just either look it up or you never find out. So it just doesn't feel all that fun to me. But playing it with my boyfriend sometimes on occasion is fun because he can tell me exactly what to do because he knows how to play this game. And I like running around and being a little chaotic. I think that part is fun. So, sort of the honorary last member of this list. I rate the game itself a 4 out of 10. But again, that's just a personal preference thing. Before I give you my full ending, I have a couple of honorable mentions of unfinished games. These two games are ones that I am currently playing either on my channel or in my spare time that I don't think I will finish before the end of the new year. So I just wanted to include them on this list, even though I haven't finished them yet. So they're not going to be on next year's list. They're just going to be the honorable mentions of this year's. So, technically, number 39, The Walking Dead, The Telltale Definitive Series. I am right in the middle of my Telltale series right now for The Walking Dead, so I wanted to add it here because if you've watched any of the videos on it, you know that I love this game. I rated a 10 out of 10. I love this game. If I were rating the seasons themselves, I'm not saying that every season itself is a 10 out of 10, but the game as a whole, to me, is a 10. I think this game is so good. It is my favorite zombie game that I've played ever so far, and I just think everyone should play it, and everyone should love it. So, even though I'm not finished with it, I know I love it. I'm rating it a 10 out of 10. I don't care. Number 40, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is sort of an odd one to end the video on, because I wouldn't say that this is a typical game that I would play. I certainly want to get into more games that are sort of along this vein, in the way that sort of Dragon Age Inquisition is. You know, more of these like sort of open world, like adventure-y type games. I don't play a ton of those, and I do want to get into more of them. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey has been on my list for quite some time. Not really any of the other Assassin's Creed games, I just really like the time period that Odyssey is in. Like, give me ancient Greece, I'm there. I will be playing it. Mention any Greek god, the Percy Jackson fan in me is out. I don't know what percentage done I am with this game. I have played for many, many hours, and I'm not 100%ing it by any means, but I am trying to do pretty much like every regular quest, so it's taking me quite a while, but I do really enjoy playing this game. It's just one of those ones where I plop myself down on the couch, I turn on my PS4, and I play it for however many hours until I go to bed, because this is just such a fun sort of mindless game for me. You just run around, assassinate people, explore some caves maybe, sail a boat sometimes. It's a fun time, and I like it because it feels more low stakes to me. You just run around. I don't know what else to say. It's an 8 out of 10. Even though I haven't finished it, I do really like it, and I will finish it eventually. Hey guys, this is a little awkward, but I wanted to keep all of that in about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and then make an addendum, because as of today, I just finished it, and I recorded this about a week ago, and I didn't expect to finish it before the new year, because quite honestly, I still have a lot of content in the game left, but I started sort of getting bored, and I just decided to focus on the main storyline and just kind of power through it and finish it, because I was about 75% done with it, and I was like, you know what, I just want to move on to something else. I'm gonna just do the main storyline and not really focus on any other quests. So about 80 hours, a little bit more into the game, I finished it, and I have some thoughts. Without getting into any spoiler territory, in case anyone does want to play this, I don't want to delve into it too much, but the endings are a little bit bullshit. I will play 80 hours of this game, and the main deciding factor of what ending I get is determined within one 5-minute dialogue scene. And that pissed me off so bad. There are some other little decisions here and there, or like one bigger decision, but at the end of the day, I just can't believe that they decided pretty much the entire fate of your ending on that one scene, and if you don't make every single right dialogue choice, you're basically just locked out of that ending. And that pissed me off, because I acted a certain way the entire game, made certain choices the entire game, thinking that would at least have something to do with it. But no, it doesn't. So, just so everyone knows, if you want to get a good ending in that game, use a dialogue guide and save yourself any pain or trouble, seriously. Other than that, my only other bigger complaint, without delving into too much, is there's no ending credits scene when you finish the main storyline. Like, I get that I have more stuff to do. There's plenty of games where you can finish the main storyline and then just hop back into the game if you want to. You know how many games do that? So many. But there was no ending credits at all. I literally finished the entire main storyline of the game. It went to a loading screen, and then it just plopped me right back into the game with an achievement. Like, you're not gonna give me any kind of satisfactory ending of, oh wow, look at all that I did, look at all the time I put into it, it was all worth it, I finished it. No, they chose not to do that for some odd reason, and I deduct points for that. Because if it's a long game like that you spend a lot of time and effort on, I expect to at least have an ending credits scene to pay off for all of the effort that you do. An achievement is cool and all, but like, I wanted to see the ending credits of all the people who made the game to make me feel like, wow, look at, I just consumed like art that these people made. Amazing, so cool. And they didn't give you that at all. And that's just not cool to me, alright? Not on a big game like that. So, I am sorry to say that because of those two things and a couple of other things I won't get into, I'm deducting a few points. So, I'm really sorry to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I'm cutting that 8 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. Alright, That was a lot of me talking. Just straight talking. I'm a little tired now. I know this video is a lot longer than the previous one, but I played and enjoyed a lot more games than I gave up on, so I consider that a good thing. I consider it a win. Next year's videos are going to be a lot shorter, just because, like I said in them, I sort of just wanted to encompass everything I could remember ever enjoying playing or giving up on, so this encompasses all of that. Next year, I will strictly just do the games that I played that year, so don't worry, it won't be nearly as long, I don't think. We'll see, unless I really kick up my gaming. And I don't mean to trash any of your favorite games if they're on this list and I rated them low or said something you don't necessarily agree with. It is all just my own personal opinion, and if you absolutely love Stardew Valley and you think it's a 10 out of 10, good for you, man. Have fun playing it. I don't blame you. I just am saying what I think, and I would actually love to hear if anyone has anything else to say otherwise, because I think that's fun. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will continue to do these every year. I am manifesting. I will do them. I'm trying to hold myself accountable. All of my socials will be down in the description if you would like to follow me on anything else. Go ahead and subscribe if you made it this far, and if you want to see me play any more games. I hope 2024 is filled with many, many games. If you have any games that you would like me to play or check out, or even just make a review on, please let me know down in the comments. I absolutely love hearing suggestions and what other games people like. And otherwise, before next week, please just go maybe drink some water or some juice or whatever you want to drink. And I will see you all in the new year. Happy early new year, everybody. I'll see you in 2024. And until then, have a good one.